It's pretty clear that the Miami Dolphins have been playing it safe, keeping some of their biggest names off the field during preseason. And now, with the regular season around the corner, it's time to wonder who's actually going to be ready to hit the ground running when the real games begin. Tyreek Hill, HillWaddle, Odell Beckham Jr., Aaron Brewer, Isaiah Wynn, Jalen Ramsey, Javon Holland, Bradley Chubb, the list goes on. These are the names that haven't seen much action lately, and if you're a Dolphins fan, you've got to be wondering what's really going on. Is this just about being cautious, or is there something more serious lurking under the surface? Hill and Waddle, the dynamic duo that's supposed to light up the scoreboard, have been sidelined. Mcdaniel seemed confident Hill would be ready when it counts, throwing out a nonchalant assurance like it's no big deal. But how can you not be concerned? The idea of Hill not being 100% is enough to make any Dolphins fan sweat. And Waddle? He's got the potential to be the perfect complement to Hill's game-breaking speed, but if he's not fully healthy, that plan could fall apart fast. Then there's Odell Beckham Jr. The Dolphins brought him in with a lot of hype, but so far, all we've seen is nothing. He hasn't practiced, hasn't played, and yet McDaniel's acting like it's all part of the plan. He's optimistic, he says. But come on, how can you be optimistic when the guy hasn't shown anything yet? It's a classic wait-and-see situation, and if Beckham isn't ready to go, it's going to feel like a big miss. Aaron Brewer, the center who's supposed to anchor the offensive line, is another question mark. McDaniel's words? A mix of optimism and uncertainty. He feels pretty good about Brewer's status, but there's nothing concrete to grab onto. That's not exactly comforting. The center position is crucial, and if Brewer isn't ready, that could spell trouble right out of the gate. Isaiah Wynn? He hasn't practiced in what feels like forever, and there's really no reason to think he'll be ready by week 1. It's almost like he's been forgotten, and at this point, it's hard to imagine him being a factor when the season starts. That's a big blow to the line, which is already dealing with its fair share of issues. On the defensive side, it's a mixed bag. Jalen Ramsey should be good to go, at least according to McDaniel. Ramsey's competitive fire is well known, and he's been itching to get back on the field. If he's not out there against the Jaguars, it would be a shock. Javon Holland seems to be in a similar boat. He had a good workout before the last preseason game, so he's likely day-to-day, but should suit up when it counts. Bradley Chubb, though? That's a different story. There's no real update on his status, and it's looking more and more like he could start the season on the reserve/PUP list. If that happens, it's going to leave a big hole in the pass rush. Chubb was brought in to be a difference maker, and if he's not out there, the defense could struggle to pressure opposing quarterbacks. And let's not forget about the lesser-known names, like Eric Ezukanma and Brandon Piley. Ezukanma had a breakout moment in the preseason but was seen in a walking boot afterward. McDaniel downplayed the injury, but whether he'll be ready for week 1 is still up in the air. Piley's leg injury looked bad at first, but there's some optimism he could be okay. Again, it's a lot of uncertainty, and for a team with high hopes, that's not exactly what you want to be dealing with just days before the season opener.